Okay, so just started the recording. I'm waiting for Henning to join the room, and then we'll get started. He should be joining momentarily. So give it a second. Right, so this is the first post analysis for Henning for the elite community. So we're going to be documenting pretty much this entire journey. I've been working with him already in the past, but we're going to start documenting from here on out for you guys to watch as well. So he's done quite well. He's doing, oh, there he is. Let me just get him in. All right. Hello, hello.
Hey, Naveen.
Hey, how's it going? Can you hear me?
Good. Yeah, sorry, my audio just had to be enabled.
Oh, okay. No worries, no worries.
How was today? On now. Yeah, it's
good. Good
day. We had a little bit of snow.
Yeah, I heard. Even
Can you believe it?
Yeah, even my parents were sending me videos saying it's snowing there. It's like, why is it snowing in April?
Yeah, it's odd. But it's already melted. Already, yes. It was white when we woke up, and now it's just green again. So.
Okay. Nice. So, you ready for going public with your, not public, but in the elite community? Ready to show your results there?
Yeah.
Okay. So, I want to start off by saying kudos to you for doing this. Not many people are comfortable with working with their profits and losses so openly like that. So I'm sure what we're doing here together is going to be very useful and beneficial to a lot of the students in the elite who are, pretty much at the same stage as you are right now, or even before you, where you might have gone through already. So let's hope there's a lot of similarities to the process that they're going through, and maybe they get some aha moments on what they might be missing as well. So let's start off by what did you do today? Okay, today is what, 15th of April. It's still 15 April there as well?
Yeah, still 15 April around lunchtime. So yeah, markets are quieting down for lunchtime. So yeah.
Okay. What did
time to do a PA?
Sorry?
It's a great time to do a PA.
Yeah, for sure. What session did you trade today?
So I traded just before the open of New York, and when London just kicked on some speed after they done their initial moves, I got in an entry on pound Aussie, but I was actually looking at another Aussie pair. Another pound pair, but I'll get into that just now.
Yeah, we'll get to it.
Yeah, so it's just that pair led me to the pound Aussie pair.
Okay, so just basically early New York session that you were trading, right?
Yeah. So the one that I was originally looking at was pound CAD. So it's showing a hand. So sorry, something's showing me
but
a hand.
before we can go into the screen sharing and all that stuff, how many total trades so far?
What it was, just count them.
That's a lot.
It was actually quite a few trades. Today is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 trades.
Now 6 trades. Now,
sorry, it wasn't 6 trades. It was 3 trades, but I closed some profits. So a total of 3 trades, but I did 6 executions.
So 6 transactions, but 3 trades total. Okay. So that makes a little bit more sense. I'm like 6 trades. Many people are looking for that in a whole month, and you're like, yeah, that's today. Just before lunchtime, So okay. So before we can do that, what was anything you want to share about state of mind when you came into the markets today? Were you just ready to go, or were you raring to go?
Yeah, because actually kind of get distracted a lot because I have a lot of other stuff to do as well.
Mm-hmm.
But in the mornings, I try to quickly just think of everything that I need to focus on for the day, because yesterday we talked about a few things, and I really want to implement them in the new day. Of the start day, it's like a fresh day for me.
Okay.
So I wake up, I just make myself some coffee. That's very important. can't start the day without coffee. Get into the mood, do a little bit of admin to get my mind going.
Yeah.
After the admin's getting out, I can feel my mind waking up.
Yeah.
And then I start to analyze. Then I just go through all the pairs, calmly assess which ones I like, which ones I don't like. And then when I pick my pair, I stick with that pair for the day. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So we've been working together on your post analysis for what now? About a week's time now? Not more than that?
Yeah, it's more or less a week. Yeah.
More or less a week.
I think it's a little bit less than a week.
Yeah, I think we've done a total of two or three meetings like this. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So we'll try to keep it a routine as much as we can. I'm thinking we do it for a whole quarter, just so I can get a good grip on how you're trading, and depending on how we do along every step of the way, then there will be some surprises along the way. So we'll see.
Surprises. Okay, sounds good.
No, I'm not gonna show up naked on this webcam or something. Not that kind of surprise.
that's a scary one, but okay.
But we'll try to keep it anywhere between 3 to 10 meetings maximum for a whole month, to make sure we keep that balance, to give you enough time to work on what we discuss and stuff like that.
Yeah.
If you need me immediately on the next day, obviously feel free to reach out. We can do another one of these recordings, but we'll try to space them out as much as we can.
Okay.
Yeah. All right.
Awesome.
So let's go into it. You said pound CAD, right? Let's just dive into that.
So let me show you where I started off. So I was looking at pound CAD first.
Yeah.
I wanted to grab this move over here, just expand that. So it was a nice high volume pop to the upside with low volume pullbacks. I wanted to grab that.
Wait, I don't see your screen.
Oh, sorry. Let me just share. Thank you for letting me know.
Now I know how the students feel in my webinars.
There we go.
I don't know what to talk about.
So when you see the circle,
yeah.
Do you see the circle?
Yeah.
The legendary urban forex circle. Okay, so yeah, pound CAD. So I was looking for this move, to continue this move to the upside, just as a 60-15 trade. But when I got into it, was about 7. It was a little bit too high for me to get in on this trade. So I was looking for pound strength. Now, the majority of the pound pairs were not giving me strength except for pound Aussie. So if I just go to the Aussie group. Sorry, just need this to hide.
Yeah, so we know Aussie was weak all day, right?
Yeah, so the whole Aussie group was showing me weakness. Just need to move that out of the way. Okay, so yeah, the whole Aussie group was showing me weakness. So that was a good sign for me. Aussie being weak, I'm looking for that 1 pound pair to be strong. So I decided to go on pound Aussie. And I quickly identified on the 60 minutes the areas that is important for me. So just on the 60 minutes, we were playing with this seller's territory, which hasn't been broken for like ages. A few days ago,
okay,
1, 2, 3, 4 days. We're already in the 5th day that seller's just held. So I know that's a strong area. So I wasn't looking for buyers to go higher than that. So I just wanted to play within this recent breach to the upside. I'm going to hide. Let me just hide it for now until I did. There we go. Okay, so I was looking at this recent breach to the upside, just to see if I can get some cheese trades in here and playing below that area as well. So yeah, my trading time frame was basically 15.3. So if I just go down to the 3 minutes,
now I see your 6 trades.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So we had this lovely little breach up, going up, a strong move, taking out New York's highs of yesterday. So we had a little bit of pullbacks coming in, strong little V. So I'm still positive that this area is holding. So giving me higher lows, still on the buy side for this. Everything still lines up for buys, kind of liking all that. So the area that I wanted to go into first, because if I zoom in a little bit, let me see if I can get that a little bit more clear. So this was my first attempt, and I actually did a limit buy on this because I was looking for a price to get to this area.
Oh, you're going gangster.
Where we had,
it says did not get your limit buy.
Yeah, my limit buy wasn't entered. So I placed it there because I was looking for this trapped seller to get to that area and then take my buys on. So unfortunately, price didn't go low enough for me to get an entry. So it just took off without me. So that one I missed.
Okay, wait. Before we go into the rest, explain this one to me. How did you get to this point? Let's start from the top. What's your big boy on this?
So my big boy is this buyer over here.
Yeah, so walk me through that. Let's go to the 15 first. Walk me through that process.
Okay, let's do that. So here we had like a consolidation over here.
Okay, so let me also
then
get
it
my
broke that
markers
area.
out. Let me get the marker out. So you're saying this entire consolidation like that?
Yeah,
okay.
and even way back over here. So it technically gave a higher high of a massive area. So for me, that was a really strong move because it gave a higher high and it held above.
Okay.
So that's how I saw that my buyers were active.
Okay. 1 second. So which one is it? Are you going with this or are you going with the overall thing? Because they will give you 2 different results.
Yeah. So my overall thing, well, I was going with the bigger type move. So I was looking more at this area.
Okay.
Because if it didn't break this area that strongly, I would have most probably placed my area that I would have liked to see a pullback come down this deep. But because it was actually able to break the previous area that was really strong as well, I was looking at pullbacks only coming to this dotted line over here. Hope that makes sense.
Yes and no, because it's not 100% clear and the whole thing. So is that coming from the 60? Is that what you're looking at for that one?
Yes, yeah. So let me just jump to the 60. So on the 60, we're in the seller's territory. So if I look at first pullbacks coming this deep, sellers attempting, weren't able to make new lows. Now we have buyers coming in. So we have this consolidation and a breakout of that.
Okay.
So that's fine. But looking on the overall picture, this is actually a more key area for me than this one because it was able to break above that. So it broke this whole area as well. So if you technically look at ranges that got broken, I would say just clear this out. I don't like a messy chart. So if I have to mark like massive areas, I would say that was the biggest area that got broken, this area over here for me, or if I place it right there. So it held in here, came lower, weren't able to keep that lows and came back into this area and then eventually broke above that.
Okay, I'm gonna point out a few things. Point out a few things here that can come into handy. The reason why I asked this on where you're looking at this from, if you're looking at this purely from the 15 perspective and saying that's your range, then obviously this break up. Look at the size of that break compared to that range. It's pretty substantial, right? So we know then we're gonna get a pullback to a possible nearest SNR area to possibly resume the trend.
Okay,
But if you look at it from the 60 perspective, And if I draw that line right there and saying that's my range, okay, then what kind of a break is that?
Yeah, that's kind of small break.
It's very shallow, right? So then if I do it like this, let me take it even further. That will make a little bit more sense for this. If I do it like this, and I say, because your break happened like that, and if I duplicate that, would you not say your price can come down till here easily?
For like a channel?
Yeah. Because he just barely made a little higher high. So if you're actually using all that information, then you have to expect a pullback that deep.
Yeah, but I was actually kind of expecting it because of this area over here. Because we were in the sellers, I was expecting sellers to get all the way up here and then eventually sell to that bigger sell. But for me, I was trading more the 15 as my big boy and the 3 minutes as my trading time frames.
If you're doing 15.3, then you'll get away with it. You'll get away with it just fine.
So not really trading 60, 15. That was just, this is just basically my overview of where I'm at in the
Sure. Just, like I said, before we go down, it's just this piece is what I was mentioning, is that if you're going to use that, then you have to be aware of, well, what does that mean for these guys? So for those guys, they're not involved in these buys for these time frames. They will only get involved if price comes down near here.
Okay, yeah.
Right,
okay,
but the 15,
so for that overall.
Correct.
Okay, I understand. Yeah, makes sense.
Okay, yeah.
Cool.
Please proceed.
Yeah. Okay, no, that makes a lot of sense. So yeah, that being said, if I look at a smaller consolidation, and then you can actually look at something like that even.
Yeah.
Because there you have a clear range that was formed, consolidation, and then a break out above that. So if you just take that part into consideration, the break was really strong.
Yeah, but if you're on the 15, you got to use all this, because that's a consolidation inside an ongoing consolidation. So
yeah. So for me, I would most probably say, just get rid of that. For me, it was, if I need to draw like a range, I would draw it over here, because that's just a little poke out.
Yeah, perfect.
So most probably there. So the range, the 15-minute range was in this area. So if I measure that, do that, I kind of like doing this, and then just to see how far it broke out. So that's like double the range size. So that's quite a substantial breakout for me.
Yeah.
So then it makes sense that it can actually hold on this SNR area.
Yeah. Are you on a Windows or on a Mac?
Mac.
I think hold down the shift button and click on the bottom of the range and drag your mouse up. Hold shift while clicking. Yeah. That will tell you how many bars, how many pips movement. So if you want to measure.
Oh yeah.
So, and then when you click again, it'll disappear. So.
So that's this ruler tool that I usually use. Okay, so the shortcut is shift. Nice, thank you. I did not know that.
I'm all about saving every second.
Oh, yeah, saves on seconds. So now I have my direction, and I'm just looking for buy. So I'm completely buy focused. So I didn't really focus on any of these sells.
Good.
So yeah, the first one I got to that limit order that I wanted was because of this trap seller over here. And then looking at these sellers that came strong, there were sellers here that wanted to sell. They got trapped by these buyers. Struggling sellers coming in down here again.
Yeah.
Kind of like that.
Yeah.
And then
let me pause you. Let me pause you 1 second there. Because you obviously know what trap sellers are, but there might be some of the students who are watching this are like, trap sellers? What? Can you quickly go over that? What's a trap seller?
Okay, so for me, a trap seller is, if you look at this is where sellers really try to take price down. So this is the last guy who attempted sells.
Yeah.
So there was someone who did a sell over here, seeing that it's like a breakout of this area or this area or that area, just to continue the sells to go lower, maybe to get to this area. Not sure what they wanted to do over there, but as soon as they hit the sales over there, they got trapped because buyers just took it completely all the way up. So now they're kind of like wishing price would get back to this area before, so that they can just close at the break even. So that's how I see it strong. And if I see this type of movement, price coming really down, struggling, that means that there's sellers trying to get back to that price so that they can get out. So if they get close to that price and they see that, well, I'm going to give up, I'm going to exit my position. Now those sales turn into buyers, which makes a stronger buy for me as well. So
yeah, let me
like an
draw,
extra confirmation.
I'm going to draw on your screen a little bit just to quickly explain it. What a trap seller is, if you haven't seen it already, guys, you know, those of you who are watching, it's in the precision part of the 4CB. Okay, if you have the 4-course bundle, it's in a section called precision. Basically what it is let's say you have an uptrend, right? In an uptrend, what's our job? Give me a pullback, I want to buy it, and then if it makes a higher high, our job well done. So the whole idea is, if it doesn't make a higher high, what does that mean? So if it goes up, pulls back, people start getting into the buy, and then it goes up, they did what they were supposed to do. But once it goes up, what's the mentality? Pull back to the nearest support resistance, and I'll buy it again. But if that pullback to the nearest support and resistance initiates and starts to go up, but then it crashes on them, which means it does not make a higher high, we then call this the trap buyer. Okay, the trap buyer, and it's inversed for trap seller. It is the last buyer who is trying to buy off of a ledge, off of a support and resistance ledge, using it as a proper area, just like how we would trade normally, right? And then once that doesn't happen, they fail. So yeah, okay. So I think that should help them understand what a trap seller or a trap buyer is now. But in this case, you have only this ledge here. So the cells weren't able to make a lower low, and then it just ran away against them.
Yeah,
so, yeah.
And even if you pull it, even if you pull it a little bit to the left, where these buyers were able to break through, now these sellers were able to get below this last buyers and hold a little bit. So they were seeing, well, now it's underneath that price, this must be sells.
Yeah.
Then they got trapped.
Yeah. Fair enough.
So yeah. Okay.
Okay.
So that's how I see it. So that's why I was trying to get a price as close to down to here as possible. Now this was still a little bit too early for me. I guess I would have most probably looked to enter around here if I wasn't asleep. But that's hindsight.
Okay.
Now, when I got to the pair, I saw this happening. Sellers coming down. I was like, okay, give me then the bottom of a range, then I can get in. So if I just draw that, I saw a mini range forming over here. This one going up, 1 touch, 2 touch, 3 touch. So I was like, okay, give me the bottom of that range and I'm going to get in. So my price was right in the bottom of that range over there. But unfortunately, the price didn't get quite to my range, and then it just took off. So I wasn't able to get in on my first position.
Okay. So this first trade, what would you call this trade? Okay, well let's do this. Before you get to that trade, what was the structure forming that made you get interested in that?
It's like a range.
Okay, so it's a range. It's a range only here, right? But what about leading up to it?
So there's like a big range going on. If you look at this,
okay,
so it's like
we have a
failure of we
have a high, we have a low, but then we have a lower high, and we have a higher low.
Yeah. So like a squeeze.
Like a squeeze. So if we notice that squeeze, then obviously we want to get our job done as much as we can towards the edges of the squeezes, right? In which case your entry would have been perfect if price did come down till there. But no worries. Okay, so no fill over there.
Yeah, no fill over there. So then when I saw this buyers breaking above, so I was looking more of what's happening on this range. I saw buyers breaking above and then actually buyers coming to this area over here, which is like a bigger move for me. And they were holding, now starting to hold above that. So for me, I was more focused on, if it breaks above this, then where can I enter for another buy on this? Because I want to see how far I can catch this to get to this top. So that's my first goal, just to get price to this high over here. So I saw pullbacks coming in. I saw a little buyer's candle coming in there. And that was, for me, a trigger like, okay, price is good. They did their little pullbacks, holding above this small range here. I'm going to enter and see how far I can push it up. So I took my entry over there on that. Sorry, it's blurring it out a little bit. But in any case, so on this candle over here, took my entry. What do I do now? There we go. Okay, so took my entry, was aiming for recent highs, keeping in mind that this is a strong area as well. So I wanted to see if I can get recent highs, but to be safe, I removed about 80% profit over here, because this is a key resistance area for me. Removed 80%, left 20% to see if I can get the top, or even higher than the top. So it came to the top, got rejected quickly, wasn't able to react quickly enough, and this rejection was kind of strong, so I closed the remainder of the 20% over here. So it made a bit, on the first move I made about 2.8 Rs, and then on this 20% I made about 1 R.
Okay. How do you
that
feel?
Was my second entry.
How do you feel now with closing majority of your position sooner rather than later?
Yeah, so that was something that we worked on the previous session that we had, of me not really removing enough.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of happy that I did close it over here.
Yeah.
Securing a lot of position, and if it goes, it's just bonus for me. So it didn't go as I planned. So
you're
I'm
okay
fine
with that?
Yeah,
you're okay with that?
I'm 100% fine with that. Yeah.
So if you removed 80 up here and your remaining 20% was open, and then it shot up 200 pips, you're fine with that?
Yeah, because then I have like 20% still running, and I wouldn't feel left out. So yeah, good, I would be fine with that. Yeah.
Yeah, because how often do these moves happen?
Yeah, not a lot.
There you go. So as long as you keep reminding yourself that it's okay. So good. Really well done on this one. Okay, let's move on. Why were you sticking to blue on this pair going further?
Yeah, so I was still looking on the overall 15-minute thing and knowing that my 1 hour area was over here. So for me, this move wasn't over yet. It's really early in the session, so there can still be a lot of movement still left. And I can see this price, this just getting higher lows all the way. So every time it forms like a little range and just breaks up, does a little range and then breaks up. So I was looking for the next area. And now just looking at my initial thought was, okay, well, if I have this break, now I have trapped sellers over here, because these were the last sellers that attempted to sell, and these buyers made them be trapped. So
it's this, I was
looking for because of this entry.
It's right here. It's because of that. People would hit that as a ledge to sell off of. And when that sell doesn't make a lower low and snaps up against them, we say, money is stuck over there. They're trapped.
Yeah, so I saw that.
Yeah.
I was looking for a price getting to that. I saw a little range coming in here. Now I cheated a bit. I went down to 1 minute to see that range.
Before we go into further detail.
Yeah.
You know how I was earlier showing you about the 15 and the 1 hour, showing you the two different perspectives?
Yeah.
Right. How the 15-minute you're okay to think the way you were thinking, but then on the 1 hour you're not okay to think like that. Do you remember at the beginning of the call?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me show you the same thing here. let me show you the same thing here. You see this range, right? So based on
Yeah.
this range, when you had this breakout happen, how strong is that breakout?
That was a strong breakout.
Pretty substantial, right? So what kind
Yeah.
of pullback are you going to get? Are you going to get a deep pullback into the range, or, holding at the next SNR level?
Yeah. So I actually did see that as well. The thing is, however, for me, that tripped me up a little bit was it broke out, did a pullback, and then went higher. So it was a little bit of a choppy breakup, although it went really far. So
No.
I was expecting it to pull back actually kind of deep
No.
and
Well,
not
we'll
just
get to it.
hold above this.
We'll get to it. We'll get to it. So
Yeah.
based on this perspective, yes, it's going to break out and it's going to pull back onto here. So the way you traded this was absolutely perfect by removing some money here and not expecting a higher high. Here's
Oh,
why.
okay.
If I take the perspective a little bit further, when I just showed you and I said, did you notice this thing as the squeeze was happening? Now, based on that
Yeah, and it broke
squeeze,
above the squeeze. Yeah.
how big is that break?
Yeah, it's kind of small.
It's small. So expect a
Yeah.
deeper pullback into the range where you have your trap sellers.
Ah, yeah.
So this happens to be an ideal spot to re-enter for the next trade. So, but okay, I'll stop right there as you proceed, and then I'm going to show you the dangers of
Okay.
everything else.
Okay, cool. So yeah, for this one, my aim was actually just first of all get to, where was it? Get to this top. Just mark that out. I'm still looking at this is a strong area, so right over here, just kind of something that holds. And so I entered over here. I took a market buy, put my stops right down there, took out by full size. This one was, yeah, full size right over here. So I made about 1.2 Rs on this one. As soon as it came to this area, full size out, because I wasn't 100% sure that this will be the place that it actually can shoot up, because I have this little thing going on here. Let me just draw it out. So I saw this type of thing going on. So it's like a channel going down. So I wasn't sure if this is a break of that channel, what am I actually going to expect? Because if it goes and it goes really strong, then it can really break that channel. But it came to where I saw an SNR, so I wasn't really expecting it to go yet.
Okay. I like how you saw that SNR, but there's a stronger way to do it than an SNR, because an SNR in itself is actually quite weak. Okay. So to do the buys, obviously the good thing you have is that original flow of the 15 that you had. That's perfect. Yeah. That's why you want to stick to the buy side.
Yes.
To confirm to stick to the buy side, you have a trap seller right below you that's telling you it's okay. We're getting people stuck on the sell side. Let's keep going to the buy side. But as you approach this area to do the buy, don't forget you have a trap seller, a trap buyer just above you based on this SNR, people who try to buy that. That makes this area strong because of that, not just a normal SNR, but it's because they're playing both ways. Now, if you take this knowledge one step further, why are they playing both ways? It's then you notice this thing. Let me draw it. You are now entering into a massive range that's building. Okay, if basically from here, and then this thing starts rising. You're entering into this massive consolidation that's building up. So having that said, beyond this, that's an attempt there. That's another attempt there, and then anything after that, maybe you want to actually get rid of. One small thing before we can get into that one thing that I really wanted to point out is this entry that you did here. Is this missed one, or did you take that one?
Which one?
Here.
This one. No, I got into that one.
You got
that
into
one.
That
I wrote to my take profit right there. Yeah.
Okay, that one. See if you can next time. Try to see if you can take it off of this. Sorry, where's my marker? Take it off of the ledge here and getting prices in there as much as you can with stops below the trap guy instead of entering on the pullback and then buying it.
Okay.
Okay, so you want to just hit it because you will have multiple things going for you here. You got this thing going for you. You already have a higher low developing. So you have that support right below you saying, just hit it from here. Don't second guess it. You already have this downward movement coming choppy. It's not coming full speed.
Yeah, it was really choppy, yeah.
Right? So you can just hit it there. That will improve your risk to reward dramatically.
Okay. Yeah, I think this was around, because I had the New York session.
Yeah.
So when I got back to the charts, because at least it was a short New York session, so I was already going for that. The buys was already in there, so I just took an entry over there.
Okay.
So I think might have been a little bit more chasey on that one because the best entry would have been when those sellers tempted and they closed. And
no, even before. On these red bars
before?
coming down is where you have to get the buys done.
Okay.
Because you want to use this, if you want to find the exact price, obviously you'll have to go down to the 1 minute, but you should know that if this is an SNR area here, obviously no one is hitting it from the top, right? As you know, how the public thinks. Once it starts moving, they start chasing it. So all entries are going to be here, 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 and all of that stuff. So the further you get away from there, the stronger that level becomes.
Yeah. Makes sense.
So you want to hit it from in that area with stops just below that. So that way you can maximize this as your risk and that as your reward. You could have got a 2R out of this just by tweaking that little thing. Yeah,
because it only gave me a 1.2 then because I had to enter right over there. Yeah, that could have been okay. Makes sense.
Okay. Yeah.
So then the next one, what I saw was, let me just clear out a little bit more. There's a lot of stuff in here that's going to cause confusion. Okay, so these two callouts. There we go. Now they're pointing in odd directions. There we go. So that's actually should be pointing to that volume right there. So I saw this range holding. It's like this mini range where this. There we go. So this mini range from there till there is just holding all the way. Price came down to the bottom of the range. As soon as it hit that range, it took the buyers took it up full swing to the recent top, and then sellers attempted again. As they came down, this little range over here, it seemed like it wants to hold. And when these just right at the bottom where it was forming this small little range over here, volume started to increase right at the bottom of the range. So it tells me that there's something going on here. If there's no volume on the break to the downside, or this seller is moving on the downside, but there's volume on the bottom of that, then I would look for that to the direction to the north. So that was a thing for me to look at. It was also this where I circled this. I saw some more trap sellers in here when these buyers took it up all the way to there. So I did a limit order right down here as close as possible, got in on that, and was just looking to ride this one to the recent highs over here. So
you got filled on that. You got filled on that volume bar itself.
Yes.
Okay,
so,
you just moved it.
It's a little bit skew, but it's as it came down. I wasn't full, but I was interested, so I placed a limit order after this seller's candle, and it went up and then came down, followed me, and then it went up again.
Okay, that's perfect. That's exactly the thing that you were supposed to do here. Well, but you did it here just fine.
Oh, okay.
You used that trap seller and you just entered based off of that. Good. Yeah, you fixed yourself one trade later.
Okay. Yeah, because what made me a little bit more confident was this volume right at the bottom when they did this little move to the downside, but failed. So it's like at the bottom of this range.
But
Why
you
is
keep
there
saying
such high
range.
volumes?
Which range?
Uh, it's, you just mark it out. I have so many lines here. Let me just, okay, that range.
Okay. You're
So
talking about
I'm
this
talking about
section here.
small little one. Yeah,
Okay,
that's it.
okay.
So
Gotcha.
yeah, it's a small range that's working within this bigger move on the left side. So I was looking to see if I can get as close to bottom as possible for this, or let me just put it as a consolidation,
Yeah.
where these sellers aren't able to make it lower than this area over here, where we have those trapped sellers over here.
Okay. What do you recall from the volume part that I told you yesterday in our meeting?
I would look for if volume increases right at a turning point.
Okay.
So for example, let's look at this one. If volume increases here,
yeah,
and it decreases there, then that's fine. Then it's more sales for me. But
okay,
if volume is low at the start here and right at the end it increases, tells me it wants to go the other way.
Perfect.
So
okay,
that's what I was looking for over here, because
but what else?
Volume was low over here, and as it turns, it increased.
Okay. There's still one more piece.
One more piece. I forgot. What's the other piece?
All right.
I forgot what it is.
When you're trading off of this area, and it's good that you did a trade here based on, you said the range, but you were using this information but we built another trap seller on the way there. But
yeah,
are you aware that there's also a trap buyer up there?
That's why I was aiming for no higher than this.
Okay. But remember,
well, I didn't really think in terms of trap buyer, but I'm thinking of in terms of SNR.
yeah. So here's the part that's gonna come at you time and time again. So one part is obviously because you're looking for buys, you're always gonna find the trap seller very easily. I want you to put an extra effort to look for trap buyers in case they show up, because that means trouble. But you can counter that quite easily, because if a high volume shows up, that means they're loading up. Okay, it means you can clear this. Okay, it's just going up, it's getting rid of that, it's building a trap seller along the way, it comes down and takes off. So generally, whenever you have a high volume spike coming out, that's one of the highest volumes of the day almost, which we call the climax, right? It's happening right at the end of something. It means they're loading up, or someone just got out and the market can turn, right? So all of these signs are very, very good, right? As we remember this from the volume course as well, right?
So just talking about that, that's these notes that I made. So my first was right there. My first take profit area was right at the top of this, where I just removed 50%. And the reason why I removed 50% was if I have volume here, it's most probably setting up to break above this.
Okay.
So I removed 50%. When it got to the top and started to reject quite strongly, something fell off, and I just removed another 25%. So I only had 25% left, and I moved my stops to smack bang at break even, because yesterday I moved my stops a little bit above break even too early, and it stopped me prematurely out. So it came down right into my stops again. So it actually did stop me out, but I was looking for this buy to continue based on that.
Okay.
So that's why I didn't exit my full position over here, because it felt like maybe it's getting ready to actually break above. So unfortunately, I still got stopped out. And it actually went for the buys.
This can be easily fixed also. But again, it's so easy to talk about it. But when you're live, of course, it's going to be a little bit difficult. That's why I want you, whenever you're live, I want you to constantly focus that, if you can hear my voice in your head and be like, read the other side, read the other side as much as you can. So in case you have the high volume here, okay, so let's work on your Nostradamus capabilities now, so, on how you can predict the future. Okay, so I'm gonna draw from here, okay? I'm gonna draw that exact thing. So it goes up and it does this. People try to buy it, it smashes down on them, right?
Yeah.
And then it starts to range in this area, okay? Now you're trying to hit it from the bottom of that range for the buy, which is excellent because you're using some trap sellers in this area earlier. So you're like, perfect.
Yeah.
Entry is fantastic. Now, because of the high volume, you got hijacked thinking maybe I should hold now, right? The idea is correct, but the timing is a little bit wrong because you have a trap buyer just above you. So if you want to use your Nostradamus, abilities now, think of this range once it breaks to go to the upside. How far can it get?
Yeah, it will actually get stuck right up there.
It'll get stuck right there. How big is that break?
That's not a big break. So
that's not a big break.
Deeper.
So a deep pullback is expected.
Yeah.
Into a trap seller down here and then a potential run. So this in itself is one full trade that you should have taken 1.5, 2 hours from, and then attempted one more buy from the bottom of that range yet once again.
Yeah. Yeah. That's why because of this top, I removed most of the position. But I didn't take another entry over here. I just got stopped out and then I didn't attempt another one.
You remove some position up here?
Yeah. It's so right at the top of the range, I removed 50%. And then when it tried to go above and failed on this candle over here, I removed another 25%. So I only, when I got stopped out, I only had 25% of my position left.
Okay, when you here have 80 and here 50, why the difference there? Why 50 on this one?
Because of the high volumes. So
perfect.
I was looking for it to go up.
It's a trick question. No, okay, very good.
That's the only reason, yeah.
Okay, whenever you don't have a follow through, right? What I mean by a follow through as in it keeps going. If you don't have a follow through, I want you to figure out why. Like work on that. Like why did it not have a follow through? Then you can understand, okay, well, I guess it cannot go further. Trap buyer, and he needs to pull back in deeper. If you think of that, of the follow through, you are 50% prepared for the next trade. However, if you plan for it before you even buy it, then you know to get out here and re-enter later. So you can see the difference between the two. You want to be more prepared rather than watching it unfold and be like, I wonder what this means. I wonder what that means. That will take you longer to adjust. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I don't really look at it. As soon as it wasn't able to push through over here, I started to doubt that it was actually able to push through. So that's why I didn't reattempt another buy. But now looking at it, I had to clear this trap the buyer over here before and then just do a deeper pullback. It kind of makes sense.
Yeah. But a deeper pullback only because the way it came out of your range was not big.
It was a horrible break. Yeah.
So whenever you have a break, I want you to change your structure. So if you have a break that's shallow, I want you to give yourself the ability to understand maybe my structure is changing into from a range. It's starting to go into an uptrend, but because it's shallow, you can draw your lines like this now. And you can make a parallel one just below and be like, how low can he actually come? Is there a trap seller in here somewhere for you to use that as an area of reference? So you can just put in your limit order there and saying, if price gets there, I'm just going to hit it.
Yeah.
Okay.
That makes sense. Yeah.
So the proper cheese in this did not exist, right? This was the only part where the cheese just ran, but otherwise you didn't have a clean enough cheese. But did you come out profitable for today?
Yeah, that's about
what do you think was the changing piece that made you come out?
I think it's reading the smaller movements and taking profits as on based on that, and not just aiming for new highs. If I was aiming for new highs and just moving stops as price goes up, I would have most probably just been stopped at the break even or made a little bit of profit.
Yeah, there you go. How
So
many?
it's just doing that small moves.
Perfect, perfect. And I'm glad. And I wasn't sure how long it would take you to adapt to this, and you adjust very fast, young one. It was like,
It's
that was very
faster.
quick, your implementation. That's very, very good, man.
Okay, cool. Awesome,
Okay,
thanks.
how many R's total net for the day?
It was what, 2.8. This one is about about 5-ish, more or
Around
less.
5-ish, because
Because
you got
some
to
of them I
reduce it.
closed earlier, and so yeah.
Yeah.
So it's between 4 and 5.
Okay. So would you say you're more of a day trader rather than a swing trader?
Yeah, definitely a day trader.
Is it because you make more R's, or because you actually feel you're more in control?
Because it takes a lot faster to play out.
Okay, no, that's fair enough. That's fair enough. Like, so you're one of those guys. I don't got time.
I got no time for this. I like to catch the big moves also,
Okay.
but I tend to get in and out of moves quickly, even if when I'm just focusing on 60-15 trades.
Yeah.
Then I would find myself getting in and out of the trades really quickly. So I think it's in my blood.
Born to do this. Okay. All right. Couple of things that I want you to work out going forward.
Okay.
Try to see if you can do 2 trades only. Okay. No more than 2 trades, but I want you to do those 2 trades as if I put a gun to your head and saying, you better do this perfectly. Okay. 2 trades only. The reason why I want you to do this 2 trades as well as you can is because a month from now, the goal is going to be for you to trade much bigger size.
Okay.
Okay. But we can only do that is if we can see a sustainable, you're hitting your 2 trades on average per day and you're getting in good. Okay. Now, before we end the call, I want to go back to why did you end up on pound Aussie and why not some other pair? So let's go back into pair selection a bit.
Okay. So just going back to 1 hour. So I did my pair selection based on the 1 hours. So Aussie, I was originally looking at Aussie or sorry, pound CAD. I was looking at pound CAD because that was my pick that I would have picked for New York session as well, because it was the high volume break to the upside, low volume pullbacks, everything was looking good. But it's because price was so high and it already started moving before even New York opened. So I couldn't really trade that. It wasn't a great pair to get in as price already moved. So I was on pound, but because euro pound was kind of weak, pound USD was weak, pound Swiss franc was weak, pound yen was weak. So I was looking for another pound to trade that made similar type of moves. So pound Aussie made the similar type of moves.
But wait, pound Aussie would be pound strong then?
Yeah. So yes, I was looking for pound strength because of this one. So before I could just trade it because I know a lot of other pairs was actually pound weak. I needed confirmation to be able to trade pound Aussie. So I went to the Aussie.
Okay, wait. Before we go into the Aussie, okay, so we know today Aussie is very, very weak, right? Like if we just look at this chart at a glance, we're like everything looks down, right?
Exactly. So that's why I chose pound Aussie. Yeah.
Yeah, but why pound Aussie? Why not something else?
Because I was stuck on that idea of pound CAD.
On pound CAD, okay. Because that one is that one is actually coming from CAD. It's because of the oil. It's the bad oil.
Oh yeah. CAD's. I haven't really looked at CAD. CAD is also very weak. So yeah.
Correct. So that's where it was coming from. That's why pound
Okay.
CAD was flying, because of CAD was extremely weak.
Okay. Yeah, makes sense.
Okay, so
Let's
maybe
see.
before you can even get into your trading, see if you can identify these patterns of, wait, I don't have a sink in my pounds. Maybe let me see if I can find something else.
Yeah. Okay, so if I look at hindsight now, or hindsight's always the best side.
It's
So,
like it's the most clear.
so firstly, if I look at pounds, okay, I was first looking at pound CAD.
Yeah.
Pound CAD, okay.
But
It went
why pound CAD? It's because of this?
because of that and low volume pullbacks. It was
Okay.
the only pair that I could find on the 1 hours that did that structure, which I'd like to trade.
Okay.
So looking at the rest of the pounds, maybe not pound, so rather go into CAD,
Okay.
CAD group.
Yeah.
When I was looking at it was about this time, or around here, right there. So the price was way too high, and I
Yeah.
thought, look, just keep it there. USD CAD's going high, so USD CAD could be a good one for cheese. EuroCAD actually had a structured pullback at that point, and it didn't go yet, so that could have been a nice one.
Wait, let me. Okay, what was the first one you said?
USD CAD. So
Okay,
around
so
this
I'm gonna
area,
put my
so for
line here.
cheese.
Okay, so you're talking
Yeah, it's
about that
basically
one.
for cheese. Yeah.
Yeah, and then.
Yeah, and then EuroCAD had a structured pullback.
Yep.
So it was around this area. So that could have been one.
That's your ideal one.
Yeah, because of the
Now,
structured pullback.
yeah. Now why? Now, okay. USD CAD, obviously, it's your gold mine. If you're cheese trading, it's your gold mine. Now, why is USD CAD a gold mine?
There's power in the move.
Look at this. Oh, sorry.
Yeah. It's
Um,
like massive break and then power in the move.
yeah. If that's your range, what kind of a break is that?
Oh, massive break. Yeah.
It's huge. It's like, okay, we're looking at, okay, if it pulls back to an SNR, we can probably begin thinking about trades. But as a cheese trader, you're like, just give me a pullback on the 15 a little bit, and then I'm all over it. And then you get that
Yeah.
subsequent move just after that. So that trade in itself could have made you 5R plus compared to what you've done on the pound Aussie in ups and downs with risk
Yeah.
involved, right? Here the
Yeah.
risk is less because it's ongoing. It's like you get in once or maybe twice at most, and you get to ride that.
Yeah.
So
Makes
pair
sense.
selection also has a little bit of a power on its own if done well. So, but here's what we need to find out for you. Do you thrive in these type of markets, or do you need this kind of congestion to actually thrive? We have to find that out actually for you, because some people are good in this kind of stuff.
I can give you the answer now.
Okay, what is the answer?
I suck in those type of markets.
Yeah? Okay.
I need structure. I need structure. I can't just grab something that's just moving like crazy. I need
Okay.
something to pull back into an area and then restructure from there.
Okay, so then your next pullback, then your next ideal pullback would be your EuroCAD. Because of this structure,
Yeah.
you can read that. Your range was too big on pound CAD. This is the size of your range.
Yeah.
On your 60, right? But on EuroCAD, that's the size of your range. Right? So a break above that is pretty substantial.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, exactly.
it's going to pull back to the nearest SNR, which is that one. You can get some work done in there for sure.
Yeah. I think this, and just look at the pullback. It's actually very smooth, and then just
yeah. See if you want to pull it up on the 15 or something like that. We can just have a
let's do that. It's gonna be good. Let's do that. Clear out this 15.
15.
What? You want to go down to the 3 or just 15?
No, well, let's
fine?
plot the areas first. So we are aware of the lines. Yeah, perfect. And then we're looking for once prices are here, you're awakened. What time are you looking at your charts?
So this is London Open.
Yeah. So London Open are over there. And how deep is that break at that time?
New York Open. Okay.
How deep is the break during London Open?
Yeah, so it's a very choppy and weak break, I would
Very
say.
choppy and weak break. So we're expecting prices to come down here, which it doesn't. That's fine. But
Yeah.
by the time you wake up, you're in the office, you're like, oh, he maintained. He kept
I'm like, I'm seeing it from about here.
okay. So for
This
you,
area
you
here.
notice that okay, well, he kept going, and now I that's a pretty strong break,
Yeah.
right? So if that's a pretty
Yeah.
strong break, what kind of pullback are we gonna get? Pullback to either
To
this
SNR, yeah.
or the upper side of the range. So there's a trade in there for you, and there's a trade there for you. These two are
And
trades.
both would have worked.
Both would have
Both
worked.
would have
That's fine.
worked.
Yeah. And there's plenty of money in there. Plenty of money.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I think this would have been a much better pair. The only thing that throws me off a little bit was the volumes.
Okay.
If I look at this, there was like, okay, there was increase in volumes on when the break happened.
Yeah, not in
And
this.
actually, reading this now, this was low volume, so that's kind of perfect. And then volumes increased when it broke. So okay, actually, was the volumes good? The volumes were good, but in this pullback, when I started looking at it, the volumes just kept going for that small little pullback over there.
Yeah. So whenever you have high volume on the top like that, they're gonna give you trouble.
Yeah.
They're gonna give you trouble. So
yeah, so that's more on there. Yeah.
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 Okay.
And if you're looking at it on 15.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just high volumes all the way through.
Yeah. Well, when you have high volume like this throughout, that's just a collective high volume. It's basically a turning point in the market.
Okay.
Right. It's not just a single high point. A single high point is okay. That momentum is due to turn. But when you have high volume as a collection, basically imagine how we say inception, right? Everything is inside everything, like Russian dolls.
Yeah.
That collection of high volume for the daily is probably one spike.
Yeah,
does that make sense? Or for a higher time frame, it's like one spike. So when you look at it in that sense, you can understand that maybe the market is beginning to turn. Take a look at this area here, on a higher time frame, like a weekly or something.
Yeah.
Like
so this is the daily. On the weekly. Okay, let's go.
Yeah, for this collection here.
Look at that spike right at the top.
There you go.
So when you have a high spike right at the top,
a super high volume, a collection of it, just know it's topping. But that's something you don't need to worry about.
Yeah, because I don't trade weekly.
No. This happens on all time frames.
Yeah. But I'm meaning if I see this, if it's coming from the weekly, I can have a trade in here without it turning around on me.
Yeah, just enter from a 3 minute and hold on for dear life.
There we go.
Yeah, don't do those trades. All right, cool. So I think we covered pretty much everything for your stuff that you did on the pound cats today. Right. So until our next meeting, what are the couple of things you want to focus on?
Okay, so I wrote down here 2 trades only.
Yeah, that's the one main thing you want to work on.
Spotting trapped the other side.
Yeah.
So if I'm in a buy, look for trapped sellers. And if I'm looking for sells, look for trapped buyers.
Yeah, read the market both ways. Okay, and then we'll build upon that.
Awesome.
Cool.
Sounds good.
All right, so that was our first meeting for elite people to see you.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Stop sharing screen. There we go.
Cool. So how do you feel so far? Like I said, this is now our 3rd, 4th meeting now.
Well, even in this short period of time, I've seen a lot of progress in my trading, so kind of like it.
That's good. That's good. So I'm projecting if we can do this well, then in a month's time, we should be hitting it with some decent size, to make the trading worthwhile and stuff like that. Instead of quantity, we'll look for quality and then size up. Yeah.
Sounds good. Yeah.
Cool.
Awesome.
Cool. All right. So that's it then. I'll go ahead and stop the recording, and
Okay.
I'll see you in the next meeting. I'll see you tomorrow, actually.
Hey, see you tomorrow.
All right.
Cheers,
Cheers.
Naveen.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.